Welcome to this edition of Eyes on Naperville. Here's your host, Kevin Dolan.
Hi, welcome to Eyes on Naperville. This month it's all about music. One of my great loves, and I've got someone that will teach us all a little bit more about the music scene in Naperville and all the surrounding areas for that matter. To many of you ex-students or existing students of music, Pete Ellman should not be a big shock. But Pete Ellman, who has a music store here in town, of course, up on 5th Avenue near Naperville North High School, I do remember that, but has taught an awful lot. How many thousands, wouldn't you say, Pete?
Definitely thousands of students.
Over all the years?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I know my two sons did, and that's just great. Well, you see these kids. Do you have a feel for how many of them went on to maybe college in music?
I don't know about college. I'm sure there's been tons of them that went on to college. We've had a few that came through our store, took lessons at our store, that went on and played in the New York Phil. One of them's currently playing in the New York Metropolitan Opera. And so we've seen a lot of them have success. And many of them come back when they're in town just to say hi. It's a lot of fun to see them.
Mm-hmm. You know, of all the middle school and high school students that have taken lessons, what's the latest temperature on jazz? I mean, what would you say? Huh? What's our temperature out there?
It's really good, actually.
Good.
All the high schools in the area have big band programs, and most of the middle schools have a jazz band as well. And that's part of the reason that we started our band, to try to give them a place to perform other than just in their school auditorium. They get the chance to play and actually have a real gig, you know, where their parents can sit in the audience and have something to eat, maybe have a drink, and sit back and relax and listen to their kids play jazz. So
somebody's keeping it alive. Is it Pete Ellman, or what's happening?
Well, we're doing our part. You know, that's part of the reason that we started our band. You used to have Woody Herman, Maynard Ferguson, Buddy Rich, Count Basie, the Ellington Band. I mean, there were tons of groups that used to tour, but that's just not happening anymore. Even in the 70s into the 80s, that was happening. Maynard was touring up until the year before he passed away. He was touring, but you just don't see that now. The people that are kind of carrying on the legacy, if you will, would be your military bands. All the branches of the service have great big bands.
Sure.
College bands. There's some college bands that will do touring, but usually it's fairly local. You know, there's no national tours anymore, and there are some great groups. Gordon Goodwin has a fantastic big band out of California, and actually one of his trumpet players who recorded with Maynard is going to be joining us when we do our jazz festival.
They do a few jazz shows during the year, don't they? A couple of schools?
Yes. We had an opportunity this year on Veterans Day. We went to Mattia Valley High School and we did some of our own stuff, but we also backed up a group of girls called the Legacy Girls, and they do an Andrews Sisters type thing. Yeah, so we did that, and it was a huge crowd there for it, and it was on Veterans Day. There was no school, so all the kids came, and their parents and grandparents and stuff, and it was a lot of fun.
It's amazing, Pete, how often I see students exposed to it for the first time, and they're just taken aback.
Yeah.
They just said, when did that happen? Well, it happened in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and we hope it never stops, you know.
Sure.
There are many of it. It might be a smaller crowd, but it's still, the aficionados are still out there. They still love to hear it.
Well, I think one of the things that makes big band music fun for people who haven't heard it before is it is more complex a lot of times than what is currently popular. You have 17 musicians, the chords are bigger. You may not know what you're hearing, but it's a different sound. It's really cool.
It's still going on.
Oh, definitely, yes. From District 203, we have a couple of directors that play with us fairly often. Dan Moore from Naperville North plays with us all the time. He's written some songs for us. He actually wrote a theme song for us. It's called For Pete's Ache. It's a catchy title that he did. And Randy Kulik from Jefferson Junior High plays with us fairly regularly as well. DJ Allstaff from Central's played with us sometimes. And So we try to keep teachers involved. We have Josh Kaminsky from Mattia Valley plays with us. Definitely.
And where we're talking about is Mullins. For those who don't know, it hasn't been Mullins that long, a couple of years maybe?
We've been there for 4 years, I think, coming up on 4 years. So
I think it was a Spanish restaurant a long time ago.
Yep.
Right on North Naperville Road, across from Lucent Technologies, and that road.
Warrenville.
Warrenville Road.
Naperville and
Warrenville
Warrenville
Road
Road.
and Naperville North, Naperville Road North. Mullins, great sound. That's every Thursday from 8 to 10, but then 7 to 8 you have students coming.
Right. We provide an opportunity for kids to come and open for us. So we play on Thursdays from 8 till 10, and then the students will come and open at 7 o'clock. And but other than that, they also put on an assembly, and I think they go around and tour the middle schools. They'll also put on a concert for the parents at school.
As many make up all of the instruments?
Yep. A lot of times they have more than what we have, and we have a pretty big band. We have 17 guys. A lot of times they'll have an extra trumpet or extra trombone or a couple extra saxophone players. And a lot of times we'll provide clinicians for them too. So either one of the guys from our band will go and work with them and then perform with them at Mullins. So they get the opportunity to not only perform in a different venue, they also get to play with a professional. Yeah. And occasionally we'll bring in nationally known artists to do that as well.
I was pleasantly surprised the night that Naperbridge, I'm kind of loosely associated with, had a fundraiser up there, and you guys played. And the student band right before, the young lady bassist, she was very, very good.
Yeah.
You know, plenty of smiles and plenty of personality, but boy, she really made that bass hum.
We actually have a girl who graduated from Naperville North. Her name is Katie Ernst, and she teaches at Wheaton College now, and she's teaching jazz over there. And I think she went to Eastman. And she's a great jazz bassist, and she's also a good vocalist as well.
Through people like you and through Mullins and having your band there, that helps. That helps a great deal. So people can keep in mind, it's not a bad restaurant either, by the way.
No, good
So
food.
Mullins on Thursday night up on North Naperville Road, they can see the Pete Ellman band and dig some of those old songs. I imagine you do all the charts, right?
We play a wide variety. We play stuff, you know, from the 40s, 50s, and we play stuff that's just currently written. We go from swing music to jazz waltzes to funk to rock and roll. And we just have a lot of fun. We have a vocalist that sings with us. We've brought in guest vocalists to sing with us as well. And it's a lot of fun. You know, we try to do a wide spectrum of music so that everybody gets something they like.
Are some charts still available out there that students can buy, sheet music?
Sure.
That they can buy and go to the music stores and find this?
Most of the old stuff is available. It's copywritten, but you can purchase it. Hal Leonard and Alfred are the two largest publishers now. But there's new stuff being written all the time. I mentioned Gordon Goodwin before. He's got a large catalog of stuff that he's written. There's another great composer, Tom Cubis, who's done a lot of stuff. Maria Schneider is out of New York. She does, and she's got a fantastic big band as well. And some of the guys in my band write stuff for us, and it's a lot of fun to do, you know, fresh arrangements or new songs, you know. And Dan Moore actually took a song. It's one of my favorites that he wrote for his field show for the marching band and adapted it for jazz band. It's called High Speed Pursuit. And it's just it's a lot of fun. He did a great job with it.
Pete, let's talk a little bit about this upcoming concert, which I'm very interested in. One of the main reasons I'm having you on here today, because I want students to be able to see big band jazz at its best. So this concert is coming up in April at Wentz Hall.
Yes.
Acoustics are good at Wentz Hall for jazz, right?
Yeah, April 11th. And it's actually an all-day jazz festival. And we're going to have 16 high school groups join us. We're bringing 3 world-class musicians out. Wayne Bergeron is a great trumpet player, as I mentioned before. He's played with Maynard Ferguson and recorded with just about everybody. Andy Martin is the trombone player, great trombone player. And Jeff Coffin, who is the sax player with Dave Matthews Band.
Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mullins is going to go on and on and on. And you do have some guest singers who come in once in a while.
We do actually. One of the things we did for what was it? Youth Services 360.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or no, Kids Matter. Kids Matter.
Okay.
We put some of our guys together with kids from Naperville North, and we opened up with Gina Glockson, who was on American Idol.
Yeah.
And we gave, as a part of their fundraiser, we gave an opportunity for a silent auction to sing with our band. So the bidding started at $250, and there were 2 winners. So 2 people came out and sang with us. And one of them sang at our Christmas show on December 18th, and she did a fantastic job and had a lot of fun. And it's
you do a Christmas show every year?
We do. Yep.
Where do you do that?
This year we did it at Mullins on the 18th, and then again at Fitzgerald's on the 21st. But it's usually the 3rd Thursday of the month, right before Christmas. And we do all holiday music, and it's a lot of fun. Sometimes we bring out special guests. This year it was just us, but we had a lot of fun. They had a great crowd there, and Mullins loves it. We usually do, in conjunction with that, we'll do a loaves and fishes thing. So if you bring in a canned good, you get $5 off your bill at Mullins. And so loaves and fishes does well, and we do well, and it's a lot of fun.
At Mullins, the thing that I think is interesting too, you have people who know jazz up there, and they know to clap for the solos, and they know something about what's going on. They feel comfortable with it, and that's really neat to be a part of that.
It is.
By a part of it, just sitting there and listening and watching, to be a part of it. So that's very.
It's great,
special.
and then there's also people who walk in who don't have no idea that we're going to be there, and they're like, "Wow, what's that?" And because it's a pretty big band, so when they turn the corner and they see us sitting on stage there, they're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, right.
So, we've had a lot of people come up to us afterwards and say, "So, how often do you guys play here?" And we tell them every week. Every week, for free? Yep.
You've done some work with not-for-profits, which is very commendable, by the way.
Thank you.
Tell me something in line with that.
Well, we wanted to do something to try to give back to the community. So I thought, why not host some 50-50 raffles? And it'll help us get an audience, and it'll help the not-for-profits. And we've done that for a lot of different not-for-profits, most notably Little Friends, Loaves and Fishes, Toys for Tots, Naperville Bridge, here's Youth Services 360, Kids Cabaret. We started a memorial fund for my father after he passed away. We started one in his name with the Naperville Education Foundation, and that was our first fundraiser. And that was to help students who can't afford to get instruments be able to afford them. And so that was our first one. That's kind of what gave me the idea. And so we've been doing that for, I think, 3 years now, and we continue to do that. We've got a new one through District 204, Art Speaks. We're going to do, I think, in February this year. And so we continue to do that. And, it's fun for us. Hopefully the people who come out have fun, and yeah, I'm sure the people that win have fun. So.
Right, and like you say, not-for-profits, they need help, so you're giving it to them. You talked about it earlier. The services have done a good job. There's a big Army band, there's a big Air Force band. I imagine the services have.
I actually had the opportunity to get the Airmen of Note, which is the Air Force's big band, come out, and I through somebody at North Central College, Jack Mouse was involved, who heads their jazz program. We were able to get them to come and play at Wentz Hall earlier in the summer, I believe, and they did a fantastic job. They're just a great organization. So, yeah. And I was in the Air Force when I was younger too.
Okay.
So
did you play with the band?
I did. I played in a band for the whole 20 years I was in. I was in the National Guard, and we have one of the trumpet players in our band is the commander of my old unit. He's a major in the Air Force. So,
but I think the most significant thing that can come out of our half-hour show here today is jazz is still alive.
Oh, it's definitely alive. And the schools, as I said before, are doing a great job of promoting it. All-state, there's an all-state jazz band that performs every year down at Peoria. And in addition to having great students come and play, they also commission a piece every year. So there's fresh music that's being composed and arranged for big band. And it's a great opportunity for the kids to not only get the clinic from the person who's running that, but to also perform new music. So.
Yeah, I imagine that's through the music teachers. I mean,
Illinois music.
They all know about it. Right?
Yes, yeah, they do.
It's in Peoria.
Yep, there's auditions. They have it. It's just like they have all-state track. They have all-state.
Sure.
This is the all-state for music, IMEA. Yeah.
So that's something for students to pick up too. Okay,
yeah.
Very good. So what are some of your gigs coming up, your own band, besides Mullins?
Well, we have the Jazz Festival coming up in April, but in February we're going to be on WGN TV's morning broadcast, and our whole band's going to be playing there, and that should be a lot of fun. It's I think we were on at 11:30 or noon. I'm not really sure, but somewhere around there.
Okay.
I think it's February 26th is the date. I believe.
So people can look that up and
Yeah.
find out when it's there. And
And we play occasionally. We just played at Fitzgerald's. It's in Berwyn, and that's a nightclub. It's been around for a long time, and they do a great job and help promote big band jazz. They have big band jazz there on Wednesdays and Sundays. We just did our Christmas show there on December 21st. But you can go to their website, and they'll have different bands there pretty much every Sunday.
I can't say enough about how happy I am that it's going to be happening. I want everybody at that concert. In the meantime, they can get themselves up to Mullins on Thursday night and see you perform, and we sure enjoy it. Peter, thank you very much. I appreciate
Kevin.
it. That's it for this month. We'll see you again next month with a new guest. Thank you.